Hey, it's Richard from Ignite Growth, and I just want to do a quick video on generating more highly targeted leads for your B2B business. So again, the secret really, I feel, to lead generation in B2B is to be specifically focusing on very tight niches and people within those niches. So sectors, industries, places that you know you've already had success. So again, a tip I always give to clients, and something I do as a matter of course with clients when I'm first meeting with them, is we'll go back through their previous 100 orders and we'll look at any specific trends for sectors who've been really successful with what they do. You know, who are they really good at working with? You know, because that's their ideal customer profile. This is the industry that we want to focus on first of all. Then we start identifying who were the decision makers in those deals that we had around the table. Was there a decision making group? Were there 4 or 5 people involved in it? Who was the champion? Who was the first person we spoke to? Who we actually then progress the deal through the business? Who was the one that was having the main pain? Who were our main blockers in that decision making group? So all of this is really key when you're targeting in your B2B marketing and your lead generation. So the more focused you can be by identifying, yes, this is the sector and the industry we do best with. These are the other 150, 200 companies within that sector. Some of them you'll have worked with, some you won't, some will be dealing with your competition. And then these are the people within those companies that we need to really get in front of to get a decision made. Now that's really what I've talked about there. That principle is what account-based marketing is all about. So we have 2 types of marketing. I'll discuss this in another video, but you have inbound marketing, which is attracting people in your funnel, but that's more of a volume attraction. Then you have account-based marketing, who's saying, these are the companies and these are the people that I need to be in front of. So a very small, very highly targeted target list of companies and people within those companies that we need to be in front of. So again, in B2B, especially with high value products and maybe anything that takes more than 3 months as a decision making process. So if your sales process is longer than 3 months, it's not a spontaneous decision to buy your product, solution or service. It's more of a longer term and it's quite a high ticket value. So I would say 50, 60,000 over that for a typical order with you. Then ABM is a great fit because you can really focus on those high value clients, those highly targeted clients. And you know, if you land one of those top companies, I would usually split them into tiers. So say, what are my tier 1 companies? So who are the big boys in that sector, that industry that we're targeting? Who are the top 10% in there by size, by turnover? You know, who are those big boys? Because you know, if you get one deal with them, that can often accelerate your growth. I had a client, as I say, that we worked with, and they got a local university to place a huge order with them. And suddenly his goal of getting to 7 figures, he sailed past that with one order. He got to 1.5 million straight away. So again, that was just having a really focused approach to getting in front of the right people and knowing that we were really engaging with the right type of companies. Even if they dealt with our competitors at the time, they were dealing with someone else who let them down, and then they approached my client to put in a proposal. He did his presentation, went through the sales process and landed the deal. So again, that is highly targeted people. So it's not really rocket science, this. It's just spending time, and this is where people don't want to do it. They want to stay as broad as they can, and I've talked about this in previous videos, rather than becoming a specialist in a certain industry and being seen as that, because that just attracts more and more targeted people to you. Everybody knows you're the expert in that industry, so any referrals that come in, it'll be people saying these are the people to go to if you've got this problem within this sector. So again, you can see that actually attracting highly targeted people should be what all your efforts are around, because then your marketing spend becomes far more transparent. You know exactly where you're spending your money, how much it costs to bring on a new client, but you also know the actual end product, the average order value that you get is going to be far higher as well by taking that approach. Okay, so that's really how I would approach it. Identify from your last 100 orders, go through them and identify any trends. Now you're looking for a trend in specifically in a sector or industry that benefits the most from your service, product or solution. Once you've got that sector in your mind, to say, yes, we do really well with the manufacturing sector, Then start digging a bit deeper. Is there a section of manufacturing that you deal really well with? You know, is it electrical manufacturing? Is it mechanical engineering? Is it what type? Is it people who produce certain type of widgets within manufacturing? So again, keep drilling down until you get a really tight focus, because then everything in your mind switches to how do I attract those people? What are their trade shows? Who are the people I need to talk to? Who are the influencers already in that industry? You know, there'll be journalists, there'll be people who are well known, there'll be magazines, there'll be all sorts of ways that you can start getting yourself and your business in front of the eyeballs of the people you want to be. And that's just as a reflection of being far more targeted in what you do. So I always say to people, you want more highly targeted leads coming in, which we all do. That's what you want to spend 90% of your time talking to, people who are a great fit for what you do. They have a need, they engage with you, they know you. You know, that becomes a pleasure then. Talking to those people, moving them along to the right decision becomes a pleasure. So all your efforts should be on attracting highly targeted leads. And when people say, how do I attract more highly targeted leads? It's usually, I'll say, by becoming an expert in one sector, by becoming known and an expert and a specialist in one sector, one industry. Doesn't mean that in the future we don't expand into other industries and other sectors, but I'm talking here about driving predictable growth. And the more targeted that those leads are coming in, the higher your conversion rate's going to be, the higher you'll convert or your sales team will convert, and the quicker and more predictable your revenue will grow. All right, so hopefully that was a useful video. If you like these videos, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon, and I'll look forward to upload. I'll upload about 4 or 5 videos every week. So hopefully that was useful, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye now.